Good afternoon, everybody. I hope everyone's doing good.
Happy
We are about to
Wednesday.
embark on a journey of the silly. Let's see if we can do like a Twilight Zone. You are about to enter a zone from which there is no return. You're about to enter the Kamala zone. And man alive. You know, when you think you've arrived at the end of someone's stupidity and someone's cringe, they show up and surprise you. It throws you out for a loop a little bit. And this one, man. Okay, so she had a little sit down with Timothy Walz, Mr. Horse Guzzler. And what pursued after that or ensued after that was well, in my estimation, a class on how to touch every single racist stereotype of both whites and blacks in one set. Just all on the table, every stereotype of white people, every stereotype of black people, just to prove their point.
To prove they're racist?
Yeah, man. So we're gonna play 2, 3, 4 clips. 4 clips. One of them, I will warn you, as funny as it is, there are some words in there you may not like, but 'tis funny nonetheless because it is pretty much Kamala Harris, but in male form. Well, it might actually be Kamala Harris. I don't even know. So it could be. It actually could be her. It could be her. Might be her.
It could be.
So first of all, we're gonna play the little short bit of the full bit of the interview that she had, and all right, hey.
All right.
Don't say we didn't try to warn you all about the cringe. All right, here you go. Enjoy.
Like I have white guy tacos and
What is
like
that?
black-
Like mayonnaise and tuna? What are you doing?
pretty much ground beef and cheese.
That's
and,
okay. Do you put any flavor in it?
No.
Oh.
Here's the deal. No, they said to be careful and let her know this, that black pepper is the top of the spice level in Minnesota, you know.
I'm the first vice president, I believe, who has ever grown chili peppers.
I'm trying to
No way.
expand
We'll
my
figure that-
my food knowledge.
You know, we've got some cantaloupes. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
What?
This is so
Okay.
stupid.
Off the cuff, the tacos.
Yeah.
Where did the tuna and mayonnaise?
Well, apparently that's what white people always do. They put tuna and mayonnaise and everything.
I do tuna in my mayonnaise.
I do too.
That's a tuna sandwich.
That's how I make my tuna sandwich. I put tuna, then I put mayonnaise. Sometimes I put some yellow mustard, salt, and pepper. I may put some other seasonings if I really want to get crazy, but
Yeah, like some
a
celery.
tuna melt is the best when you just have it pour. If you can, and by the way, this is not a matter of white thing. You don't get a whole lot of spices when you're broke neither. So you use your salt and pepper when you can, and you flavor it however you can. And I do it all the time. Some white. This is my favorite broke man, but adult food. Slice of white bread, slap some tuna on there.
Yep.
Slap some mayonnaise on there.
Yep.
Close it up and put, if I have it, put some cheese, put some butter on the outside. Tuna melt. Bam. That's okay.
Tuna melt's
Like
a good
nobody else, man.
Do you do relish in any of yours?
Sometimes.
Sometimes,
love
yeah.
the sweet relish.
What really bugs me is that he actually played into it. Like when he said taco meat and cheese.
And
Meat and cheese.
And then
with
she asked,
no taco seasoning.
does he put seasoning on it? You know, being a chef myself, I know a lot of white people that could cook better than most black people.
Right.
They put seasoning on, and they put seasoning on their food.
Yeah.
Gordon Ramsay's white, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, he's British. He doesn't count. He's talking about you're American white.
Well,
right?
Gordon Ramsay,
There's different levels of white. You know, you've got your French white, and then you got your English white, and then you got your American white, right? So like the level of food, like American white's down here. Unless they're Southern white, then that's different than Northern white, and they've got the seasoning.
Is there a difference with blacks too with that?
Yes.
Probably.
I mean, you got Jamaican blacks.
Like the difference between a northern black cook and a southern black cook, vastly different.
That's true. That's true. You know what I like to do though? If I really want to go fancy, I'll saute some onions and mix that into it as well. And then I'll chop up really fine some tomatoes and put that in there too. And you put that in oh my gosh, bro.
Yeah, that sounds
Here's another question for y'all. Does anybody in their right mind believe Kamala Harris has ever stuck her hand in dirt?
No. Well, okay, I'm gonna be racist.
That is not what I meant, Marlon. What I meant was the thing that worms go into.
I want to hear what Marlon has to say.
I'm kind of curious now too.
Yeah,
I'm curious.
Everybody knows that they use one strip of toilet paper where they put their finger through it and you wipe and you throw the toilet paper away. That's Kamala.
Oh yeah.
Who does
Just
that?
saying. Just saying. You know
Who
that's what they
does
do in
that?
India, right? You don't shake
Well,
with a certain hand
yeah.
because that's the hand they used to wipe.
It's
Yeah.
the Pope hand.
And they
Oh, kind of like.
I'm not
Middle
lying.
East.
1 to 2 maximum sheets. They put a hole through the middle of the sheet, wipe, and pull the toilet
Yeah.
paper over your hand and throw it away.
Why not
Sorry, I
just
had
get
to
a
curse you guys
bidet,
with that image,
man?
but that's just life. Okay.
Why not just bidet it? Anyway,
India.
the point being is like, does anybody believe she actually grew chili peppers herself? Like,
No.
she doesn't seem like the type to ever actually grow anything. Is
No
what I
green
mean.
thumb there. Hey, Cass.
But I just don't understand that chili peppers. Like, who comes up with that? Oh, I grow chili peppers. Just
And why?
out
Because
the ether.
she's Indian and she's trying to prove she's Indian while also
Oh,
being
oh.
black at the same time. I don't know how
But that's
that
a
works.
good point, Coy, because they did at the convention call her a black
South Asian.
South
Yeah.
Asian. So
Yeah. She's a
you know,
black
she's
South
probably
Asian.
getting a lot of slack for cutting
She's
off
not-
ties with.
Like, but
Her
she's
Indian
not
side.
foundational American black or African descendant of slave black.
She's not
Like,
even
that
full
group-
Indian. She's
What
not
is
even
she?
full Indian. She's part
No.
white and Indian. So she's
Yeah.
Windian.
She's it's the funniest thing is, like we said backstage, is like she's not even like mostly like culturally American either, because she spent her entire younger years before college in Canada.
In Canada.
Yeah, she's.
She only
She's
did
all
her
over the
adult
place.
life in the
It
Americas.
gets, it gets even worse, America.
She does her adult content in the White House. Anyway,
Heyo.
There are people that would pay for that, I swear.
no. Well, she's doing it right now. Her and Joe have screwed the entirety of America. That's adult content right
This is
there.
true. Yeah.
That is so true. Yeah.
No lube, no protection, just
Ew.
straight raw dog. That's what we got. Thank you, Kamala.
So
Dude,
her
raw.
relationship with Willie Brown, then, right?
She's
Yeah,
kind
she
of
just-
giving us. They're giving us that same, spunk like Tim Walz took from that horse.
Mm-hmm.
It's a straight shot to the dome. Just
It's exactly like Hillary and the hot sauce thing in her pocket.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I instead of carrying hot sauce, she grows her own peppers for some reason. Her own
Oh,
chili
right.
peppers.
and it's no different than Hillary playing dominoes at the Breakfast Club when she put down
Yeah.
the wrong domino.
One
The
more
better thing
thing.
was like, hey, yeah, I run a call center.
We won't tell you the number. It's not your typical 800 number. Okay, it's a different one. Starts with a 9. Just on the offside note, if y'all missed the AOC statement, the AOC preaching,
Oh yeah.
y'all need to go watch the AOC preaching. Okay, I'm telling you now. I'm telling you now. That woman back there is not real. She did some really good black preaching.
She got on the Democrat train so hard because they told her basically, you want to become Speaker of the House in 20 years, or do you want to go back to being a bartender? And then she went, yes, sir. And
Y'all seen the
jumped
new
right on
Mission Impossible movie?
No.
it. Mm-mm.
Okay. There's a scene in there where Tom Cruise ramps off a mountaintop, and he's supposed to be trying to catch in a train, and he's whoop, and the train's like way down in the canyon, and they show the inside of the train and things happening, and just in the nick of time he busts through the window. That's AOC.
Yeah.
Moving train. Ha! I'm here. Trust me, it's fun
Saved.
to watch. You're gonna laugh. But here's the interview. I don't know if there's any way to prep you for it.
No, there isn't.
It's painful.
It's
Yes.
It will hurt. I'm just telling you now because as a friend, and I know you guys are our family as a podcast nation. I don't know there is a way to make this softer. Okay, there isn't.
there isn't.
No, there isn't. And so the best you can do is grin and bear it. Okay, I
Yes.
apologize now, but this is part of our job. Is we do the hard things so you don't have to. But in this case, we're trying to bring you along with us.
Was it right?
Yeah. So enjoy.
Sharing
I
is
talk about
caring.
it being halftime in America. We're a touchdown down, and I kind of like the idea of being a little bit behind.
Well, I'm looking at Coach Walz right now. I'm looking at Coach Walz.
Well, who else would be?
Like I have white guy tacos and
What is
like
that?
black,
Like mayonnaise and tuna? What are you doing?
pretty much ground beef and cheese.
That's
and,
okay. Do you
yeah.
put any flavor in it?
No.
Oh.
Here's the deal. No, they said to be careful and let her know this, that black pepper is the top of the spice level in Minnesota, you know.
I'm the first vice president, I believe, who has ever grown chili peppers.
I'm
You
trying to
know,
expand
we'll figure that-
my food knowledge.
You know what? We've got some cantaloupes. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
So I
I was
called you,
hoping maybe
Tim.
we wouldn't have
I
to.
called you, Tim.
Yes,
You didn't answer, Tim.
I know.
What happened?
The most important call of my life. It popped up, and we didn't recognize the caller ID, and it went to voicemail.
Hi, this is Jim. I'm not able to answer.
There you
go. Thank you.
Hey, Tim, it's Kamala. I really want to talk to you.
It is an amazing privilege.
That probably happened the
Also,
same day that they did
I'm
the
excited.
interview.
I just want to be part of the excitement that you're generating.
Well,
So
we're doing it together, buddy.
It's fun.
We're doing it together. How have
For
these
us.
last couple of days been for you?
I can see where the energy comes. America is a hopeful country.
Indeed.
People are excited.
In every one of those groups of thousands, sometimes over 10,000 people.
No,
You
no.
seem-
Okay, no, they're not. They're not 10,000 people at the event.
About hundreds.
Stop the cap. Okay,
Did
you
see
maybe have maybe 2K.
Yeah.
You don't have 10K at your events. Come on now.
No.
We saw the DNC convention, and there was barely 4 there.
Yeah, there's a lot of empty seats.
Come on, man. Come on. You know what? You know what you deserve? You know what you deserve, Kamala? I'm going to give you this, okay?
What the?
That's what you deserve. You deserve the what the. Like, really? Okay.
Exactly who we are as America.
Yeah.
People from rural areas, urban areas, of every stripe and size and background. This is who we are as America, and we're
Yeah.
all in it
He's
together.
Yeah.
Is that the
And
same event?
in this
That was at the
campaign,
airport.
the only way we win.
I don't know what this is. Like, I look, this looks, was it you, Mike, that said this was all staged? This looks way beyond staged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Like,
the
that's it.
the B-roll that they're rolling looks like
Yeah, that
it's
was
from that
the-
hangar that people were saying that was fake.
Might be.
Yeah. It
But
looked
that's
like
the
it.
only other angles of that event that I've ever seen on the internet.
So this wasn't at the Aretha Franklin Cafe in Detroit?
Mm-mm.
I highly doubt it.
No, no.
Yeah,
Maybe.
This is what she's saying, but it looks like a stage to me. Like it looks fake. Maybe. I don't know.
Let's see if they eat.
Is keep the pedal to the metal for these next many, many days that we have. So, Tim,
Yeah.
what's your relationship to music?
Yeah. For me,
Who cares? Listen, we don't care about your personal life. What you gonna do when you become vice president or president? That's all we want to know. We don't give 2 craps about what music you like.
Yeah.
You don't.
You're not personable. Okay, at least make yourself interesting. Even your music choice is not interesting, bro. Okay, audience, I want bets. How many of you can guess who he's gonna name as his favorite music artist? Put the names of who you think it's gonna be, and I want you to just pick one name of any musician that you think he's gonna pick. You see, by looking at him, this is the person I know who he picks, but I would have looked at him and I thought probably like Crosby, Stills, and Nash.
Mhm.
And that's what I
Now,
would
when you guys put your answer, make sure you're thinking like these 2 buffoons at this table are thinking. They're thinking, think typical
John
white,
Denver, chair.
John
think
Denver.
typical
yes.
black. That's how you got to think. You got to get out of your world, the normal world, and go into these buffoons' minds.
Kiss.
I
Somebody
could see
said Tupac.
Share
Walz?
now. Oh, I would, but here's
Cher.
what share. This it would be this share. Do you believe in love? That's the share he would pick.
Bon
Yeah.
Bon
Bon Jovi,
yeah.
yeah, Beatles. I
Bon
can see those
Jovi,
two.
Miley.
Okay, I can see the Beatles.
Miley Cyrus.
Miley Cyrus, that's a good one.
John Taylor, Lil Wayne.
Little Wayne, I can see. Yeah, John Taylor.
Miley Cyrus.
Madonna.
Miley Cyrus.
Miley. Stevie
Nah,
Wonder.
even Stevie
Now you're
Wonder
just
could see
trolling.
these 2 ain't no good. Stevie Wonder,
Yeah.
blind, he could see these 2 ain't no good. It would never do.
Do you
That's
the
believe
baby.
in love
Drum
for
roll.
love?
Y'all ready?
Katy Perry.
the transformational piece of music was Bruce Springsteen's "The River,"
Okay.
which is a journey. You know all the tracks.
Yeah.
and-
She don't know nothing what he talking
No.
about. She never listened to him
I
a
have
day
no
in her
idea.
life.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Yeah, if you say so, sure. Yeah.
I'm that guy. My first car, it's a summer 1980, been saving up. I buy a 1973 orange Chevy Camaro, got an 8-track player in it.
Oh, wow.
Previous owner left Bob Seger's Night Moves in there. I listened to it, and it's kind of the soundtrack of my life of Detroit's own Bob Seger. But what's really great about this is I have a 79 International as my car. It's got an 8-track player in it. I have the very 8-track to this day.
You're kidding
No,
me.
man, no, but how about you?
Jeez.
Lie.
Mhm.
Lie.
Okay,
Now-
so I got a question for you. Who do you think is older between the two of them?
Kamala.
By look or by knowledge?
No, just a guess, wild guess. How old?
Kamala's
Do you,
older.
how old?
Him.
He would look older.
Kamala's older.
Okay, so what year do you think they were born in?
Kamala was born in 1964. He was born in 1956.
I'm gonna say 58.
They were born in both of the same year. He's only born a few months before her.
What the hell?
He was born in April. She was born in October of 1964.
And you know, Marlon, when you said lies, you know, there's a rule to when someone's lying. What is one of the rules? They tell too much. They give too many details. I drove an orange 1976 Chevy with a clutch that stuck and it had an 8-track. You know he's full of crap.
Yep.
You know he's lying.
It's just funny
Yeah.
to me that they're pretending that he's older than her by
Yeah,
like
he's-
years.
yeah.
What was the year that he said he bought that car? Did he say what year or just the year of the car?
It was
I
it was
think
in
he
the
just
80s.
said the year.
He
Yeah.
said a 73, right? Or
Yeah.
a 75.
Mhm.
Okay, so if he bought a 75 and he was born in 65, he would have had to bought his
64.
first car in 75 or a little
No,
bit
that-
later. Probably he
that'd
might
make
have bought it when he was 17, 16,
If he was born in 64 or 75, he would have been 11.
10, 11 years old.
So he would have had to buy it in the 80s.
Somewhere in there.
Around the early 80s.
Yeah, that's what he said. It was somewhere in the 80s.
Huh.
I grew up, you know, so all these
Oh, she stopped. Her stop. I grew up, you know, look at the size of the watermelon in the sky.
Yeah. Yeah, look at
You
these.
can't say
look at
she
these-
was about to say Canada. I grew up in,
Yeah.
Kalamazoo.
albums here. I mean, Aretha. My mother had every Aretha album, and like our Christmas gift to my mother, her birthday gift was always like, "What's the latest Aretha Franklin record?"
Lies again.
I mean, is it possible that her Indian mother was into Aretha Franklin?
No.
It's possible. That's
No.
possible.
No, it's not.
Okay.
It's not at all possible. I'll tell you why it's not possible. One, she
Hmm.
wasn't in the era for it. And she wasn't living in the space for it.
Hmm.
It was Canada. She wouldn't have been having Aretha Franklin everything. Secondarily, she was a staunch Hindi, so she would not have had Aretha Franklin in her house like that. The same way she would not have been celebrating Kwanzaa. It didn't happen. None of those things happened. She may have listened to Aretha Franklin on okay. No. And how old were you that you could buy her? You said every birthday you would buy her an Aretha Franklin. Come on now. She didn't even come up with an album every year. Come on. Kamala, you got to think things through, lady. You have to start thinking things through.
We would actually have to know
lied about
about
Tupac.
Kamala Harris in order to actually have an opinion about it. You know what I mean? Because like most of the people that support Kamala Harris don't know that she grew up in Canada.
Yes.
Mm.
But
Anne Murray. I could see Anne Murray.
Yeah.
Definitely Anne Murray. She was Canadian. I could see that.
You just
Come on,
dropped
man.
Anne Murray.
Mhm.
Spring
Hey,
wings and fly.
I don't know. You know, I'm one of them people when someone's lying, it's so obvious. It's so obvious. And there's a lot of people, like we said before in other podcasts, is that they talk to their base. Their base doesn't look for, you know, the inconsistencies, the lies. They throw out someone, she throws out someone like Aretha Franklin, and all the black people over there clapping. Oh, she's just like us.
Yeah.
No, she's not. She's lying to you. Boldface.
She's
Hey, look, Jane, don't dog Anne, okay?
Oh,
I'm
man.
gonna make a confession here. Okay, call me white if you want. These were my favorite artists growing up.
You
Listen
better say
carefully.
Nickelback.
ABBA,
Yes.
America,
Yes.
Simon and Garfunkel,
Yes.
I'll give you that.
Anne Murray.
I don't know who that is.
Man, if you don't know, that's your problem. Queen at one
Oh,
point, and I stopped.
Definitely.
Michael Jackson.
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
And then at one point it was Crosby, Stills, and Nash.
Mm.
John Denver was one of my favorites too.
Mm.
What's his name? Johnny Lee, Presley,
Yes.
Jim Reeves.
No Cash.
No, I didn't love Cash. I listened to a few of them, but I never loved Cash. No. And Stevie Wonder. Now,
No Journey either.
every Stevie Wonder song I know verbatim. Every single one all his albums, I know all his songs.
You better know what's that one movie, Jungle Fever? The songs
Yes.
from that album. That's a good.
Yeah. So look, I'm from the Caribbean, so I understand that those music gets around, but don't give me this crap about your whole mother's life was around Aretha Franklin. Shut up.
Yeah, you're a liar.
Lie. Especially the fact that at least he could name an album. You say all this about Aretha, and you have not named a single album of hers.
Yeah. What's your favorite rapper, right?
Yeah. Aretha Franklin. That's her favorite rapper. I love that dope album Aretha dropped when she was running the hood block, in them streets.
So
It's
Tupac.
on
that's it.
vinyl in your house.
All of it.
Wow.
All that and Stevie. And then Miles, and my dad loved jazz, and so it was Miles, it was Coltrane, one of my
Always the big names. What about the obscure names?
Yeah.
Did you listen to Cab Calloway? No?
Well, she's a trend chaser. That's why.
Yeah.
You know what's bugging me about her? How she's just using their first name. That's her way of sounding like she knows relatable. Yeah. Miles, Stevie. No matter how much I talk about Stevie Wonder, I always say Stevie Wonder, or I always say Miles Davis, or I always say Aretha Franklin. She's using her first names like they're chums. They just hung out and listened to albums.
They're best
together.
friends.
Oh, Stevie over here, Yeah. Miles.
I'm surprised you didn't say, the blind guy, the blind black guy. I like him.
Ray Charles.
I love Ray Charles. No, hey, okay.
Too.
I forgot him. I do love me some Ray Charles.
Yeah.
I love Ray Charles.
I got a woman way over time. Good
That
to
big
me.
on me.
Oh yeah.
You came around.
But it's the pander is strong with this one.
Man, look.
The whole interview is nothing more than a pander fest.
Oh yeah.
Yes. I wonder if there's a script under those napkins. I kept looking at the napkin trying to see if there was some writing on it.
You know what you should call this? Is called based masturbation. Because that's what it is. They're just stroking them, making them feel good. That's it.
What is her hand doing there?
Smelling her fingertips.
If you could do that, Kamala, and shut up, we would all have a very good life.
She wants to eat, is what it is.
Marlon, remember you said how they wiped her butt with one piece of tissue, and maybe she's sniffing her finger.
Well, she's used to what's coming out. It's normally what comes out at the base of people. It comes out of her mouth.
No, guys,
that's how she gets her melanin, right? She's eating small black people.
No, it's her being hungry, because in certain countries this is the F word. In Italy, in India, it's do you want to eat?
Yeah,
do you want to eat?
Makes sense now.
Personal favorite musicians for when I was younger was Prince. And of course, from your
she got some claws.
Hold on one second. Let's find something out real here.
Was like
Does anybody knows how long her fingers are?
Okay. Prince's first album, right, was called
80.
For You.
80.
And he started recording in 1977. Okay. And I highly doubt he was that well known in 77.
Nope.
But let's say everybody knew who Prince was. And that first album really dropped in 78. Okay. It debuted in 78. Kamala would have been how old?
14. She would have been 12, 13. Yeah, 14. Yeah, 14.
She was born in 64. So
yeah.
So she'd been 14.
Yeah.
You're trying to tell me at 14 years old, your favorite artist was Prince?
I highly doubt it.
For his very first album is when you would have had to listen to him. Because she said when she was very young.
Growing up in the household she grew up in, like you stated earlier,
Hindi,
she lived in a Hindi house. I doubt they would play someone like Prince in their household.
Maybe she got it from school. I mean, 14 years old, it's high school, so maybe.
They should ask her, what's your favorite album from Prince? What's your favorite
Let's see if
song?
she might mention it. Let's see.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
State.
Yeah.
And he, you know, in fact, I'll tell you, so my husband Doug and I'm more of a hip hop girl.
Yeah.
He's more of Depeche Mode.
Oh yeah. Oh, about the same
But,
time.
yeah, I'm sure you
no,
and
no.
he
Because
Of
he's
course.
white.
Of course.
But Prince, you know, in the Venn diagram of things, Prince, he and I love the same. Because I mean,
Yeah.
talk about how Prince was with that guitar, man.
What's her obsession with the Venn diagram? This is like the third time I've heard her talk about it.
How Prince
Okay,
played the
Marlon,
guitar.
or anyone on the panel, when you listen to Prince, do you know Prince by his guitar skills or by his voice?
Now, what
Like,
I think
If
is
you had to
happening-
talk about Prince and you're like, man, I like Prince based off of what?
His guitar.
That's Jimi Hendrix, not even remotely.
That's what
Yeah.
I was gonna say. I
Yeah,
think she
that's-
confused two black people
That's
with each
Jimi
other.
Hendrix.
Jimi Hendrix
It's not
versus
Prince.
They
But
all
even
look the
though-
same.
Even though Prince can play the guitar very well, but he's known for his vocals.
yeah, flashy attire and vocals.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Prince.
That's like saying I remember James Brown for his microphone holding.
Yeah,
Like yeah, he used to hold the microphone and dance around it. And
And sorry, we should be using the artist formerly known as Prince. Sorry, that's his legal
Yes.
name.
I mean, come on now. Okay, look. It's not a matter of what Purple Rain was later though.
Yeah, that was in the 80s.
And it's not when you talked about people about Prince, they don't remember his guitar playing. You
Nope.
might know that he played guitar
Yeah,
and he used to sing a lot with it, but the majority of people remember Prince because of his voice. And okay,
yeah.
yes, Purple Rain, he played the guitar. Doves Cried, yes, he played the guitar. But people don't remember. Maybe I'm just like my mother. They never hear the guitar. You never hear him. You remember that Prince song? They don't think that.
Mm-mm.
The first thing she mentions is the guitar because she know he played, but she can't name a single album. I bet you she can't even name a song.
Nope.
Bet you she can't even name a song.
Yeah.
She was given a list by her handlers of what to say, and these happen to be on the list.
Man, come on. Now I gotta go
She's
listen
like-
to.
She asked her
Windows
handler,
Cried.
they said, all right, make sure you talk about Prince. She's like, who, Prince Harry? No.
Well, no, it's the Minnesota connection she's trying to make with to be relatable to Tim.
Yeah.
I'm relatable.
The Venn
I don't
diagram.
understand it because normally if I name my favorite all time favorite hands down favorite group is America, right? And
Mhm.
the reason I like America was specifically for Horse with No Name. I would play Horse with No Name on repeat for hours. My classmates got so pissed at me, they took my radio and threw it against the wall because all I would do is listen to Horse with No Name on repeat.
It's a good song though.
It's a great song.
Yeah.
It's great for painting. I could listen to that thing on loop, but I bet you she will never name a Prince song.
No, it's
Not
gonna be
one.
stuck in my head. Thanks.
You're
See, my
welcome.
favorite
Ding,
group.
ding, 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 ba-ding, ga-ding.
Jackson
On the first
5.
start of the journey. Man, come on, man. That song is
Mhm.
bumping. What you talking about?
I almost know by heart every one of those songs.
I feel like a trip to Paisley Park is
Almost
going
know.
to happen here if the
It's,
staff.
it's on my bucket list. I'll tell you
good.
that. Tell me about your dad and his influence on you.
Yeah.
He served our country. You have served for our country for so many years.
Yeah. I was 19. My little brother, I think, was eight or nine when he passed. He was a chain smoker. Yeah,
Oh.
just addicted. They got it, but Korean War era, and
Yeah.
that generation of men pretty stoic. After he died, my mom was a stay-at-home mom. She became our rock, and now she had to go out and get work because the medical bills broke her, and Social Security and Social
Yeah.
Security survivor benefits. We're fine pulling ourselves up by our bootstraps. We had no boots. That's
Mhm.
the boots.
And it's
What?
Yeah.
What does that even mean? Look, I get you want to use the buzzword of bootstraps and make it sound bad for other people who say
And
pull
no
up by
boots.
bootstraps, but
Yeah.
come on, man. You know that's not what it means. Just stop. White Snake too. I see someone put Led Zeppelin. I
It
like
was still more affordable then for a single mother to handle a household than it is today, under what they've done for the last 16 years.
Yep.
I don't. My goodness. You know what they tried to do? Throw as many buzz relatable words into one conversation as they possibly could. Just watch.
survival,
We paid it back.
literally.
It is
Yeah.
survival. We all paid it back. So programs that are just fundamental to keeping people from dropping into poverty, but to live with dignity. You keep talking about that.
We got to help people get through a hard time. We can't have a country and policies that let people fall through the cracks.
Yeah.
Nobody's
I love
talking
what
about that
you have
though.
done with your life. You were coaching a high school football team
Yep.
that was winless.
Yes.
And you came in and so they were clearly the underdogs.
And it's
what happened?
Yeah, it's a team. And I had great coaches with me and we were friends and we buckled down. And look, it was a fairly big school, but nobody wanted to play because they hadn't won. And this group of coaches said, first and foremost, we gotta build the team. We got to go out and find people. So we invited them in. And I'll be honest, the first year we did not score a touchdown until the last game of the year. We got shut out in every game. My high score until the final game was my defensive tackle because we got a safety in one game. 2 years later, those kids won a state championship. That school has won several more since then. After we left, you build culture, you build winning. Right. People want to be a part of it, and that's the excitement. That's the excitement of what it can be.
So America's a football team now.
Yeah, they're gonna win because they're the underdogs.
But aren't they? Here's a random question. Don't hit me, people. Aren't you the coach now, Kamala?
Yeah.
I'm just curious. Aren't you currently the head coach?
Yeah,
or the assistant.
The assistant coach, the assistant head coach. Are you not?
They are the incumbents who are in office right now that are acting like Donald Trump is already in office. That's how they're campaigning. And the dumbest thing about what before they got into the coach business is the fact that they're saying, oh, they're going to save Social Security. Nobody is talking about getting rid of Social Security other than some guys on the very ends of the Republican Party. But Donald Trump in his platform says we're not touching it.
Mm-hmm.
The guy that's actually running is saying we're not doing that. But they don't believe him. So.
My word.
And again, everything she's talking about when it comes to policy, she talked about policy that are supposed to bring people up. You, as Marla stated, you are in the seat that can help bring people up right now.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah.
But you're like Corey said, you're stating like somebody else is in office. It's not you, and you got to fix it.
I thought it was fixed though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
The economy's great, right? They keep saying the economy's great, but then they're saying that everybody's hurting. Well, which is it? Is the economy great or is everybody hurting?
And yet, at the same time, out of that same pie hole that she has, where words are supposed to come out, apparently bread and beef was like 50%
higher,
more expensive.
Yeah,
but you said it's
hey, Marlon,
said the economy's
pandemic.
Hey, Marlon, look at the pasty comment.
And
pasty.
This is stupid.
Yeah, I know, but if we suffer, we all gotta suffer. This is America.
We gotta suffer together.
We suffer together. And we all die.
But it's so stupid to me because they're trying to run on economic policies, which all of their policies are the reason for all the inflation in the first place. So, like I said, they're acting like they're not in power, and then saying everything's more expensive, but the economy's good. And that, like that whole Don Lemon interview on the streets where he says, "Well, that's not true to that one guy," and he laughs in his face.
And mind you, they have the Senate tiebreaker in her vote.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like they have everything that they can do right now that they say they are going to do.
Yeah.
Right.
She won't be the tiebreaker if she wins presidency, and he can't be. Because trust me, they'll have the House and the Senate by that point. You won't need a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
But now you have the opportunity to do it. You're not doing it.
The likelihood of them losing the Senate is very high come this election.
Well, they don't think so.
The Congress may be kind of split evenly. I think it'll probably be a really razor thin margin like it has been. The Senate, though, it might flip.
And they're exactly. See, I was just about that. They're not talking a single policy.
Nope.
No,
not one. It's all superfluous stuff, fluff, superficial, topical, nothing deep.
Yeah,
it's just BM. Okay, that's what I'll call it from now. It's base masturbation. It's BM. There you go.
But our campaign.
Yeah.
Our campaign is the underdog campaign.
Oh yeah.
And with our joy, we also have to understand that we're still up against some forces.
Yes,
joy.
That are trying to divide our country.
It
pains me the kind of division and the stoking of divisions that has taken place.
Yeah.
You mean by you people?
Yeah.
You mean by the DNC?
Yeah.
Oh my!
I don't get it. Didn't you call people who voted for Trump terrorists?
Yeah, they've been
Yeah.
calling half of the country terrorists for the last I don't know how many years. Like it's been a long time.
I mean, we've been called
8?
Yeah,
We've been
at
called
least.
terrorists. We've been called terrorists, deplorables, fascists, racists, misogynists,
Homophobes.
xenophobes, homophobes.
Every phobe in the book.
I mean, you name it. You've been causing the division. Your party has been causing the division. The right, we just want to be left alone. We don't care what you guys do. But the minute you start trying to throw it in our face, like any human being out there, we're going to defend ourselves because we're not going to stand by and support something we don't believe in our core values. And when we don't, that's when you go on the attack and blame us.
This is
the
the
division.
And you're right. This is the thing that the liberals tend to not understand about conservatives is that we don't care what you do with you, but don't make me celebrate what you do.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's the only issue here. Strength through joy.
When she said joy, I was trying to put the two together. Like, where did the joy come? How did she put joy in?
No, because they're trying to sell themselves to be this joyous party who's going to be the solution to all the problems that America's facing.
And you have to stick to the talking points. You can't.
And then you got hate and what was it? Was a hate and fear and weird. Yeah, that was the other one.
Yeah.
Weird.
That's right. And when we can remind people and create a space for everyone to come where they see each other
That's
and
the
say,
magic.
hey,
They're
we're all
putting-
in this together.
It almost feels like everybody's coming out of their house after a blizzard and, a Minnesota reference, and you shovel out and then you start talking to your neighbors.
Yeah.
How was it the last couple of days or whatever it might be? They're re-energizing and they're looking for their neighbors. We keep saying,
That's
keep talking about the promise of America, and we say, take care of your neighbor.
In the face of a stranger, when you're looking in the face of a stranger, you should see a neighbor, right?
Yeah.
Here's the thing
crying
about
on
this.
When you talk about, look, a girl from Oakland, California, and a guy from out in Nebraska on there. And the number of people I watch just kind of nod and break into a smile. This exploiting the differences, it can't last. I talk about it being halftime in America. We're a touchdown down because a lot of folks, it's easier to tear things down. It's easier to divide than it is to build. But once you start that momentum, once we come out and where we're at right now, people want to be part of something that's winning. They want to be part of something that's good. And they want to be part of something that everybody can be a part of.
That's exactly what
everybody can be a part of.
Yeah, we're hoping
Here's the thing with this though. Like the more they talk about, being neighborly and seeing your neighbor in the face of a stranger, that doesn't apply to the right
at all.
No, it only means the people that agree with them. And here's the other thing. This is kind of tied into it. Is like we're not in halftime. We're at the end game. I don't know what you're talking about. We're at the end game. There is literally in Aurora, Colorado, right now, where it's being controlled by Democrats. Venezuelan gangs have taken over apartment complexes and are stealing rents.
Yeah, and when Tim Walz is talking, he's talking as if Donald Trump is president right now. He's talking as if he's basically saying the country's in shambles right now under your administration, and we're going to fix it. But it's your party that's in charge. So what are you fixing when you guys have been preaching to the American people that the country is doing so well?
Yeah, great neighbors. And that's true. They are giving out vasectomies and abortions at the DNC right now in a truck.
Yeah,
in their parking lot.
I wouldn't be surprised if they recruit Oprah and say, "You get an abortion, you get an abortion, you get an abortion."
Yeah, and they're just fulfilling their sacrifice the ball. That's all they're doing.
Right.
Yeah, they know their base is useless. Let's put it like that. Because who do you think that are actually producers in this country? It's not the left. It really isn't. None of those people produce. So why do they care if they sterilize themselves and abort their babies? Why would they care? They're not the producers. They're not the people that need to be running the system. They need all the other people. Now, if they get rid of the useful idiots, so they don't have to deal with the same way the communists did when the revolution is over, we don't need the revolutionaries anymore, do we?
The DNC destroy Negroes and coloreds. Let's go.
And I kind of like the idea.
Well, I'm looking at Coach Walz right now. I'm looking at Coach Walz.
Did you always know you wanted to be an attorney?
My parents met when they were active in civil rights movement.
Hooker program.
Oh, please,
They were professors, both of them. and they met in university.
You know the amount of patience it takes for you to listen to someone tell you a bold-faced lie and not have a reaction?
Wait.
It's hard.
How? I'm trying to think. When was the civil rights legislation passed?
1965, 66.
She was
So
born in 64.
apparently they met right when she was born.
Yeah, apparently, because like,
Yeah.
I'm thinking of it as like you weren't even around for that. Like your parents may have met with that, but that has nothing to do with you. You weren't even a thought.
Mhm.
And a
Well,
lot of that.
let's say they were diddling before they got married.
It's possible.
Hindi. Well,
I mean,
Okay.
according to her, dad's black, so that makes sense.
Find out what time they got married. Anyone know when they got married? Let's check that out real quick. That'll be the tell. When did they get married? I just want to know that.
They got married fairly quickly after meeting, and then divorced 7 years later.
Let's see. Let's see here. Parents.
I think it was 7 years later. Yeah.
All right. Let's see here. Emhoff. So let's see here. So I'm reading. Let's see here. Harris received his Bachelor of Arts from the University of the West Indies in 1960.
Mm-hmm.
So he wasn't here. Okay, he was in the West Indies. In 63, he came to the United States to earn his PhD from Berkeley,
Right, which is where he met.
and where he completed it in 66. He met his future wife during or through, they say, the civil rights movement. Mind you, they have a little tag on the end of it. Harris was an assistant professor at the University of Urbana, 66 and 67. Moved to University with Madison in 68. 72, he joined it. So my question is, if they met in 63, hear me out. You met in 63.
She was born in 64.
64. I want to know where the time frame happened where they were active in the civil rights movement. That's what I want to know. What time frame were they active in it?
They weren't.
What were Indian Americans in America during that time
No,
really
no.
regarded as proponents of
no,
civil rights?
No, they were
No.
Caucasian.
Because that's the thing, is like a lot of these, they didn't consider South Asians or most Asians as being colored at that time, because they didn't claim it, because they could claim Caucasian, which got them out of all the Jim Crow laws. That was the whole point of why they did that.
Yeah.
So they weren't subject to the same issues.
So another lie. How many lies have we? The whole thing's a lie. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, and he didn't even claim to be black when it wasn't very cool to be black. So like it just, mind you, that he could have done that, but he didn't. He put Caucasian. Remember on the birth certificate, they were both Caucasian, so that she would be Caucasian.
Let's hear the rest of these.
Painful.
Lies.
We're
Lie beatings.
around a bunch of people that were, marching and shouting for justice. And some of the heroes of that movement were the lawyers, Thurgood Marshall, right?
Mhm.
They understood how to translate the passion from the streets to the courtrooms of our country. And they believed in the Constitution of the United States and the principles upon which it was founded. And that's where they then, in the courts of America, reminded us of the promise, right? And the ideals of our country, including equality, freedom, right? That's why I went to law school. But the other reason is when I was in high school, my best friend, I learned, was being molested by her stepfather.
Yep.
And when I realized what was happening, I told her, you have to come live with us. I called my mom. I have to tell you, Tim, it was the first time that I realized how not everyone can take their safety for granted.
Yeah.
And what we should all feel as a sense of responsibility to protect people from harm.
Yeah.
So that's why I decided I want to be a prosecutor.
Wow.
So
And as a prosecutor, I prosecuted homicide cases. I prosecuted a number of different types of cases, but I specialized
them in
in child
jail.
sexual assault cases.
Really? That's what you specialized in?
yeah, you kept them in jail when they were innocent too. By the way, just want to point that out.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but she says that it's the job of them to keep safety as a top priority, right?
Yeah.
So why is it that a Venezuelan gang has overrun an apartment complex in Aurora, Colorado? Or
Which is controlled by Democrats, by the way.
right. And why is it that we don't have Lake and Riley here anymore? I mean, I thought safety was a priority.
Oh, Jay, it's also even worse than that. They've just admitted in the city that there are multiple buildings that have been taken over by Venezuelan gangs. It's not just one. It's multiple places. Yeah.
And you know, for her to get up there and talk about justice, as was stated earlier, she was the same one who was locking up parents for kids with truancy. She was locking up people with minor drug charges, taking fathers away from families.
Yep.
So she doesn't believe in justice, and she doesn't care about children, as she tried to say that her friend got molested. She doesn't care about kids.
Yep.
And I don't even know if that's true. Who knows?
I mean,
knows that's
here's
true?
the other worst thing about that is like the Civil Rights was passed in 1964. I had to look it up again. It was 1964. She was born in 64. She wasn't even a thought when all this stuff was going down, but she was inspired by these things because I guess that's what she was told when she was a teenager, and she'll look back on it. That's how she's inspired by history. Sure, fine. But she acts like she's older than she actually is, which is weird.
That is weird.
Super weird.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but let's I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt and say that that is true. Did she just utilize her friend's trauma as a shield to cover up for her ineptitude?
Okay, 62, her parents met in 62. Listen carefully, that's what they say, 62. Married in 63. Okay. By 70, they were divorced.
Yeah.
They were only married 7 years. Okay, 7 years. Now, 5 years later, went back to where?
Canada. Where she spent the rest of her time until
she finally came back to college in 82.
Where she went she went to Howard, right?
No, 82. She graduated from Veneer College in Montreal.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
and then she attended Howard and graduated in 86. The only time she had an American education was Howard University.
Yeah.
Where she became black by proxy? Is that what we're?
Because she went to a historically black college. That's why.
And so during that time in college, she got a hold of some
Tupac weed.
Yeah, her and Rachel Dolezal were homies.
And they smoked the wacky tobacco listening to Tupac before Tupac was Tupac.
And
exactly.
Yeah. And Prince.
And one of the things I did was create a whole unit dedicated to focusing on children who are being abused and to ensure that they have dignity in the process.
Really crappy
and
one.
Justice. There's so much
dignity in the process of being abused.
Yeah. I mean,
I missed that.
Hold on. Wait, real quick. Hold on. Hold on. Let's back this train all the way up. You weren't trying to get them out of the abuse. You were going to try and give them dignity in the abuse.
I missed that part.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow, dude.
Okay, buddy. That's how you want to. I would think that your program would make sure you get them out of it. Wait a minute.
Weird flex, bro.
You, Miss Lady, were the one that set all these precedents in place when that little young boy was abused in California, that Netflix had to make a series about it.
Yeah.
It was your policies. It was your program, right?
Yeah, because she was attorney general for 2011 to 17. Is when she was
and that boy was abused in 14, 13, somewhere like that.
Yeah.
So it was you. You allowed that to happen.
And all the trafficking that was happening in Epstein in California and all that stuff.
She allowed all of it. She's full of crap.
No, you can't tell us we're trying to put a title on her. She put that title on herself.
Yep.
We're just agreeing with her. And we're also agreeing that it happened under her watch, which means it's her fault.
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure we have that cleared. Okay, good. Continue cackling, Hal.
Work that we still have to do to make sure that children have a voice.
For me, that's kind of with me.
Except for the ones
as
that
a
are
teacher.
cross-border.
It's about the kids and wherever you teach.
Right.
Once I had my own children, it became so clear to me. And I think it made me a really good teacher.
Yeah.
That child who came through the door was somebody's most special thing in their life.
Absolutely.
Thinking of a parent dressing their little one up and sending them off to school, so proud of them. I
She's
wanted
not
to
a
come
parent,
through that
by the
door
way.
and just lift them up, that sense of service.
And
It's
it's great to
interesting.
be in
Two different
Detroit.
parts of the country, two different lived experiences, but all coming to that same goal of everybody getting a fair shot.
Well, I have to tell you, Tim, even though you and I grew up in different parts of the country, you remind me of the people I grew up with.
White? Yes, I agree.
White
Oh,
and Canadian.
Yeah,
walk into that
white
one.
Canadians. Yeah,
White, rich, and privileged. I fully
Do
agree
you-
with you.
that actually brings up a really good point. Do you think there's a lot of black Canadians?
There are a few
Yes,
now.
there are.
They
There are,
weren't
I
back
mean,
then,
but when she grew up, I'm saying when
No,
she grew
no,
up,
no,
do you
no,
think there was a
no.
lot of them?
No, it's too cold. You know, black people don't like the cold.
I mean, it's because like I'm thinking of the timeline of when she was born and when she grew up and how she grew up, and she was in Canada for that time. And I'm thinking to myself, does Canada really have a large black population where she could have possibly have grown up at?
Even if they had a black population, they did not observe the black American ways of living, especially
Yeah.
Kwanzaa, because that's an American thing. In case people forgot. Now, hear me out. Let's do. I'm going to do one more thing. One more thing. Watch this. Watch this. All right. Let's see this. I'm gonna verify something real quick. All right. She said she grew up celebrating Kwanzaa, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe so.
Kwanzaa was first celebrated in '66.
Coined by Jesse Jackson, right? Or is it?
No, it wasn't Jesse. It was some other dude.
Somebody else, but yeah, it wasn't even a thing for most of that. And then she
The
wasn't even
activist
around
name
her
was
father to celebrate
Maulana
it.
Karenga.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's no way because like she spent most of her time with her mother,
Hmm.
who's Hindi.
Mhm.
That doesn't make any sense.
She
None of
doesn't
that.
make any sense.
It was a Pan-African celebration. A Hindi would not participate in it.
No.
Just in case
No.
people understand. Okay. Okay.
Hardworking folks, plain speaking.
Yeah.
People who know the difference between right and wrong.
So what happened to you? Did you not know it was wrong to sleep with a married man just to get your way? You didn't know that was wrong?
Uh-oh.
You didn't know it was wrong to be in a menage a trois with Montel? That wasn't wrong to you?
Oh.
No? Weird.
Oh.
Oh, you didn't know it was
I-
wrong to keep people in prison past their sentence and abuse them in prison as though they were slaves. That wasn't wrong to you. How
Sure
about this
wasn't.
one? Did you know it was wrong to deny people due process? Did you know that was wrong?
Mhm.
So you knew people that knew right from wrong, but it just missed you completely. You know what didn't miss you, Kamala? The stupid stick. That didn't miss you at all. You got beat everywhere with a stupid stick.
Hey, Marlon.
Man.
So say what you will about Hillary Clinton. At least she never had to sleep her way to the top. She just killed.
She made sure she took care of the opponents. Okay, look, everybody knows how to take care of opponents. Kamala took taking care of opponents way different. than Hillary did.
Two same process, but two very different scenarios.
Yeah, and you know, to the Kwanzaa thing, I think the only time you can give her the benefit of the doubt was when she was in HBCU. They probably had their little Kwanzaa booth set up, and she went out there, wore her daishiki, and played African for a little bit.
Oh yeah. That makes
And
sense.
underneath the dashiki, she wore her saranga.
Yeah.
And
I read
care, love thy neighbor in
Yeah.
the most authentic and true way.
She doesn't believe that at
Those
all.
are the folks I grew up
No.
with, and I know that's who you are. And I'm so glad we're doing this
I'm
together.
proud to be with you.
Wait,
So grand.
so the same guy who's about loving his neighbor, according to the cackling hyena herself. He was the one that allowed a bunch of Minnesotans to riot upon each other, loot each other, burn
Yep.
each other's establishments down,
Yep.
and he let that happen.
Yes.
But
Summer
he
love.
cares, but he cares for his neighbor.
No, he
Apparently.
cares. He cares.
It was a summer
Um,
love, a joyous event. Joyous.
It was
we,
joyous.
we have found if it's not Kamala's twin, it might be Kamala. Okay. And it's how she tries to relate to Black America. We found her secret weapon of how to relate to Black America.
The secret
Now,
sauce.
Black America, don't blame us. Okay. Just because we found this. This is Kamala doing her best impersonation of rap music to embrace Black culture. Again, remember, we're talking rap music, which means it's going to have some language in it you may not like. But
Cover
she
your
is
ears.
Black and Indian, so she's allowed to. Okay. Welcome to the stage, Kamala Harris's twin doppelganger, or maybe herself. And again, brace yourself. You will laugh, but it
Mr.
may hurt
Banger.
your It may hurt
Buckle
you a
up,
little bit
guys.
because of the language. Okay.
Mm,
This is
Here
the
we go.
banger.
yes, joy, joy.
It's a banger though. He knows how to. Man, this man can sing. Here we go.
Oh
Yep.
man.
Gang, 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 nigga money, oh my god, nigga money, fuck bitch again, nigga money, hi, nigga money, hi, gang, 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 nigga money.
That is Kamala doing her best rap impersonation, people.
Now respect it.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy that album as soon as it drops. Okay. It's fire. Imagine running down the street bumping that.
I
Oh,
don't
man.
know who's more disingenuous, Kamala or Hillary.
Yes.
I think Kamala might have Hillary beat, man.
Oh, big time. Oh, psh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
At least Hillary, you know, she's white, you know, but Kamala don't know what she is.
She's black white.
She's black.
Yeah, no,
she's
no.
white.
You know where Hillary stands. She's like, she's something. She's something. Her speech at the DNC was bitter as shit. I want to tell you
Yeah.
that.
Mm.
She was upset that she wasn't the one getting the nomination on stage that night, and she was
think
bitter
everybody
about
was.
it.
But they asked. We had a found an interview also with. And this is the last video. We found an interview with Trump, a comedian, and we wanted to show you the difference between an unrehearsed interview versus what you
Versus
saw,
rehearsed.
which was a rehearsed interview. Okay,
Yeah.
this is a unrehearsed, authentic interview. Agree with them or not? This is what organic looks like.
How did you get addicted? How did? No, I would just do cocaine. That was really, yeah. So not
That's
just,
what-
yeah,
That's
And it was-
that's down and dirty, right?
yeah. And this is, yeah, this. I mean, it was, yeah.
But you don't anymore.
No, I don't do it anymore, man. And I'm not doing
Is
it.
it too much? Too much to handle?
Some of the stuff started to get a real rattle in it too. I don't know where we were even getting it from in this country, but yeah, it started to make me feel like I was a mechanic or
So
something.
the thing you go back to then is alcohol for the most part.
Right. Yeah. But what I want probably is cocaine. But I know that if I have a drink, then it'll like be like, okay, well, I had a drink and I can do this.
Is cocaine a stronger
Oh, yeah.
up?
Yeah. Cocaine
So
will make
you're way up with cocaine more than anything else you can think of.
cocaine will turn you into a damn owl, homie. You know what I'm saying?
Homie.
You'll be out on your own porch, you know,
Yeah.
and you'll be your own street lamp. You're freaking
And is that a good feeling? Well,
no.
it's a
horrible.
miserable feeling.
But you do
as
it anyway, just like the guy you're saying with the scotch. Like you knew it was bad, but you still.
So it's not even good during what would be normally the good time. In other words, oh well. So why would you do it?
I wouldn't. That's why I don't.
Yeah, that's
Okay, there is a 50% possibility with Trump coming up in the 80s that he did cocaine. I'm sure there's like a 50% possibility.
I doubt it. I doubt it.
Mm-mm. Here's why. The reason I wouldn't believe it is because what the type of personality he has, it would have shown up.
You think so?
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, no, okay,
The man lived
I
a
see that
very.
argument,
He,
yeah.
he lived a very. He didn't care about what people knew. If it's
That's
one
true.
thing I can say about him, and I watched a lot of his
You
interviews,
know what? You're
he never
you're
cared
absolutely
whether
right.
people knew or didn't know what was going on with him, but because you always knew he didn't. He was transparent with his work.
Mhm.
He was transparent with his talk. Whenever he was on TV, he told you exactly how he thought. You didn't have to guess. Remember that little thing he had in front of Congress with the Indians and the gambling casinos and stuff? He didn't filter nothing for them. They don't look like Indians to me. And I know a lot about. He didn't filter nothing.
Yeah, I
There's no
remember
way you
that.
could hide doing crack and cocaine if you were Trump. He couldn't hide
Okay.
it.
I stand corrected. You're absolutely right. Because if he had in fact done cocaine at any point in his life, it would already have been out.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah. So like I stand corrected. You're absolutely right.
and he
But,
would have bragged about it.
but I'm
too.
sure he was around it for sure.
Oh, for
Oh,
sure.
yeah,
Just
he's
like he
a
was around
businessman.
alcohol, but he saw what it did to his brother.
Yeah, that's true.
He was
wouldn't
around
have to go.
alcohol. He was around hookers. He was around blow. He was probably at Studio 54 partying and up. So I guarantee he was at Studio.
It was the
54.
80s. Yeah.
So he's been around all that stuff. And as Marlon said and Coy said, if there was Donald Trump, the richest man in New York, did a line of blow, did a little booger sugar,
You
it would
would've
have came up somewhere.
Yeah.
Easy.
You're absolutely right.
Easy.
I stand corrected. I was right.
And it's how he behaves. Okay, so like Trump was always very even keel as a youth, right? Now he's a little bit more flippity floppity with his how he talks. You know, yeah, but back then he was very straight, and you
Mhm.
can't do that on cocaine.
Mhm.
All of the artists that ever did cocaine, they all acted the same way. They had some kind of a little He never had any of that. And I don't think he was that strong constitutionally to do cocaine and just stop the first time.
Mhm.
No, he wouldn't have tested it at all. And that's just my belief, just based on how I've seen his videos and recordings and how he spoke. No. Besides which, the kind of money that he was working around, he would have been broke.
Yeah.
His bankruptcy wouldn't have happened because of failed business plans. He would have been bankrupt because he spent money on blow.
Okay. True.
You know,
I get that.
and like you said, people would have found that out and brought him down to it. Trust me.
Oh, for sure.
But like you said, this just shows the difference between an actual interview versus whatever the hell we just watched.
Mhm. You know what that was? That was a woke version of an interview.
Yeah, that was
A pretend podcast.
Yeah, just throw everything you can in a hodgepodge and bring up every buzzword and every stereotype. I grew up like this. I grew up like that. Oh, yeah, well, I grew up like this and I grew up like that. And I listen to all the black people. Yeah, and I listen to all the white people because I'm white. I don't listen to black people, and I'm black. I don't listen to white people. That's what they did.
It was
and they believe people will believe it. I don't get it.
And you know what's funny is the party that talks about unity, and at the DNC they talked about unify, unity, and that's what the DNC talks about. Wouldn't you have thought in that interview or that skit they would have found some commonality? Like, do you listen to Hank Williams? Oh yeah, I love Hank Williams. You know, kind of unifying them. They was pretty much saying, I listen to white music. Well, I listen to Negro music.
I use black pepper. I use chili peppers.
I use this. I use this. It's just like,
the only thing they were missing from that entire interview is her rapping and him singing. That would have been it.
There's probably an AI version of that.
He probably pulled out a banjo.
She eats a bucket of chicken while he's playing
right
the banjo.
there. Come on, man.
It's just funny to me that there's this big blind spot when it comes to the DNC that they're not even looking at. So like they are having riots and people getting arrested outside of the convention like today. There's a lot of that stuff happening. They are expecting their base, which is very anti-Israel and pro-Palestine right now, to unify and elect somebody who has no energy behind them and is fake and expect to win.
And that's the problem with the Democratic Party, the left side. They have so many different factions within their party. You have the socialists, you have the communists, you have the liberals, you have the progressives, you have the moderates, you have all these different factions, and they all want something. And a lot of those things don't align. So they're all fighting. Some are pro-Israel, some are pro-Palestine. You know, if you look at the conservative base, usually, you know, there's some stragglers out there, but the majority of us stand by the same thing. You know, our beliefs and our end goal, our goals align. Their goals don't align. Some want abortion, some don't. Some want this, some don't. Some want this. And they're never going to come together. That's why that whole party just needs to be trashed. Get rid of it, throw it away, non-recyclable. Get rid of it. Start over. Start from scratch.
Yeah, scrap the whole thing.
Yeah.
But look, if they end up doing what I think they'll end up doing, we're in for a world of hurt.
Yeah.
We are in for one ridiculous, nasty ride, and I hope you guys have a constitution strong enough to handle it, because they're going to come after everything you got as an American. Yeah, we didn't even talk about the fact that they're trying to push the unrealized gains tax. Well, the thing is, anything she's trying to pass will eventually harm America, and that's the whole point.
Well, that's the biggest.
You better be ready for it, because when it happens, there is no way you can fight. Here's what they're going to end up doing. This is how they're going to strategically do it. They'll remove your right to protest properly. They'll remove your right to due process, and they'll also remove your right to question the government at all. It will happen. It's not a matter if they've already started doing so. How? Are you able to post whatever you want against the government right now online? No, you can't. It'll get shut down, shadow ban, or you'll get removed. Now imagine them doing that the way England's doing it now, where you say something, they come find you
and get arrested.
And Marlon, on that point, usually everything that happens in like England, Australia, you know, some of our so-called allies, those are usually test grounds. So they do it in England when it comes to free speech over there. That's a test. When it comes to gun confiscation in Australia, that's a test. So they test it out in these other countries, that westernized countries that are kind of like mirror America, and they see if it works. So America will slowly start implementing those things. Slowly, you'll see it slowly start happening. And they did it when it came to COVID. When you talked about COVID, they were silencing people. That was a test.
Yeah, like you were saying that was COVID was. I was going to say COVID was a soft one for that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I do want to say is, do not believe the polls that they're putting out on mainstream media, on Twitter and all these other social media platforms. These fake polls are used to discourage the voter. Those polls are lies. Don't believe the mainstream polls. Go to these non-mainstream polls, and you get the truth there. These polls are put out by the mainstream, the Mockingbird media. They put these numbers out that are fake. I saw one that had said Kamala's 94% chance of winning.
Yeah.
It's fake. They use these polls to discourage the voters. And it doesn't discourage all of us, but it does discourage those ones that are caught in the middle. So the ones in the middle are the ones that are going after these polls. Don't believe them. Look around.
And Mike's right, because here's two very different demographics that you're going to have to watch out for in the election. You have the black vote, which is going to be very close. And then you've also got the pro-Palestine vote in the left. And that's going to cost them the election. That percentage between those two groups is what's going to cost them the election.
Yep.
It's going to be an interesting set of times here that we're coming up on. I still stand by my statement. I don't think we'll have it, but if we do, it'll be very much one-sided, not by people's decisions, but well, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Can't say it because you know what they're going to say. We're trying to interfere with stuff, so we're not going to say it. But you know what I mean. People will fall for this because the people have been coded now to respond to emotional stuff. They've been coded to say, "Oh, that sounds like a good platitude. I'm going to vote just because of that." And they have no concern about what they're going to do to attain all this stuff. They have no clear line and they don't have a plan. But as long as I tell you I'm going to and never fulfill it and keep lying to you, they'll buy it. So Too Strong will be on tonight, guys.
I just want to correct something. So in Australia, it wasn't a gun confiscation; it was a gun buyback.
Yeah,
that's
but
what she's. That's what
it's a soft. It's a soft.
But she promoted it. She said that too. She wants to have a mandatory buyback.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a soft confiscation, though.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, how you gonna buy back something that you never bought?
Exactly.
It ain't yours. How you gonna buy it back?
Well, they're gonna pay you a third of the price of the gun that you initially bought it for.
Please.
Yeah,
Or
you're
you
already
get
doing
Amazon
knife buybacks in the UK too.
Yeah. Or you get an Amazon gift card.
How come they don't do chicken buybacks? I'd like to see a fried chicken buyback. In any case, Too Strong will be on momentarily in about 45 minutes. Make sure you jump over there. We're talking about Pope Francis and his scare of black popes and him not willing to do anything for black popes, even though in some cases you'll find him pandering to them. But we'll talk about why that looks that way. So join Too Strong tonight. And then we'll be back tomorrow for Straight Talk and Friday for another episode, because we're talking Friday about something that happened on TikTok over the week. And it's going to be a little bit angering to some people, but it needs to be addressed. So just look for that on Savage Patriots on Friday. And we'll be back. Then we have our Rumble event this Saturday. Don't miss that. We'll be doing that. So we'll look forward to seeing you guys there. Mr. Ali.
Like, share, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you Friday.
Peace.
Oh.